Okay, below is the body of the letter, but before moving to the letter, another word on the prologue. It's just at the beginning of a letter, sales letter is just so important. And I want to point out another technique that the writer might have tried, might have done, and that is to borrow a technique that many mystery and thriller writers use and create a lot of bestsellers. And you'll often see in the beginning of a mystery or thriller novel, the first page or two is kind of a prologue, and what the author does is he takes you forward in time. He takes you forward to some climactic point, whether the protagonist is about to be killed, and at this point you're wondering what's going to happen after that, and you're also wondering how the protagonist got there. So it's a nice setup, and when you start reading the novel and you're back in time, you will keep reading, at least certainly for a while, because you want to find out what happened and how the reader got to that point. Well, you can do the same thing on a sales page, and you could possibly do it here. At the point, let's see, around here, finding an alternative to Google was not just an option, it was an urgent necessity. And maybe the writer puts in something like, and after searching and experimenting, uh, one day it hit me. It was staring me in the face. The pay-per-click loophole that turned affiliate marketing back into the big money maker it was. And then maybe there's a bridge, and I'd like to tell you, the story behind my discovery, or you could leave that out and go into the letter. But what that sets up is some tension. You sort of left it at this climactic point, and the reader wants to know a how you got there, and uh, what's going to happen after, and wants to know the story behind it, so the reader can take advantage of it. So that's another possibility that the writer could have done for the prologue. But at this point, let's move down to the letter. Okay, starts off with Dear Frustrated Marketer. Are you like both Jason and I were, believing that Google is still the gold mine it was a year ago? Diving on it probably means diving into every hyped up internet guru marketing system that comes along, praying it will be the one that actually reveals the secret to massive Google paydays. We fell for all of them. And then he's listing some of the things that he tried, and for the target audience here, which are frustrated marketers, people who've been using Google AdWords and have been finding it difficult, and it is certainly more difficult than it used to be. So there's identification. The audience is identifying with these problems and seeing that the writer had similar problems, and by implication found a way out of the problem. So a little further, he is talking some more about it, and then you come to this big subhead: the Google game is over. Now, the Google game is over. This is a really good subhead here for a number of reasons. A, it's pithy, it's short, it's catchy, and it says a number of things. One, it's calling it a Google game, implying that it's a game that had its rules, and at a certain point, if you were following the rules, you could win. And what he's implying here is that that game is over. Uh, as a matter of fact, in a certain way, this really is the theme of this letter. The opening headline is a very interesting, big, bold claim about making so much money, but really this is the theme, that the Google game is over, and if you're going to keep playing it, you're going to lose. You need to find an alternative to it. In fact, I would say this whole subhead here, it's taken a while to get to it, and it really is a theme. It's provocative and catchy. In fact, I would move it up. I would go, let's see here, I mean, you might even pull it up to some point in the prologue. Let's see here, I think there's probably a place, maybe even Google somewhere about here, where you're talking about finding an alternative to Google's, let's say, is not just an option, it's an urgent necessity because the Google game is over. And right there, that sets up the theme. It leads up to this point, this claim about the Google game is over, and then he's going to talk about why it's over and an alternative.